So in this vid, I finished building this guitar, then end up taking it and myself on stage for the first time to play in front of a crowd. Let's see if I bomb or not. What's going on? We're back with the fourth video in the 𝗧𝗵𝗀 𝗧𝗶𝗺 series. Approaching the arse end of this build now. We've got a couple small things to complete. You'll finally hear what this thing sounds like. In this video, we're going to fix the tuners. We're going to bolt the neck on. And we're going to install that beautiful hand-machined brass stars bridge. And what we're going to have to do there as well is set the string spacing and slot it. Oh, editing Nathan here. If only numbnuts knew what he's getting into. I've got my angle grinder at the ready for precision work such as that. We'll see how that goes. So, first step, tuners. Let's get into it. So we kick off this episode by installing these Japanese-made Gotoh tuning machines onto the 𝗧𝗵𝗀 Model 4 neck. I went for these because, going by my iometer, they should be close to a direct replacement of the Jackson SG3807B tuners found stock on the Japanese 𝗧𝗵𝗀 model series, which this neck was sourced from. Those tuners were also made by Gotoh, sort of leading me to believe these would be close to a direct swap. Good quality Japanese-made tuner. They're really smooth, the whole tune very, very well. Featured in many Ibanez guitars, old school ones on a old Japanese-made Squier Telecaster from the mid-80s and still goes strong. Holds tune great, built like a brick shit house. I've used them on various other projects in the past for something good quality and doesn't break the bank. So now moving on to the 𝗧𝗵𝗀. We're very lucky, they seem to be a darn near perfect match. A little bit schmick.
I love gold!
Now, this is a tip I've sort of picked up and rolled with over the last few years of building guitars. The little tiny baby screws, like to, just from a, I don't know, there's a D handle, so to make the guitar smell good. I just like to use a little, just a little bit of paraffin wax on the threads. Makes them go in easier, makes them easier to come out. All beautifully aligned. I'm just going to nip them up at the top. These just use a little 10mm hex. Don't have to do them up tight. Alright, so tuners are on the neck. Look awesome. The body, once again, looking awesome. Very schmick. There was a small incident here involving a hammer. Don't know how that could have happened. Alright, so it is now time for the neck to be mated to the body. Taking the bridge off and just holding the pickup down with some masking tape. It is going to be done with a 𝗧𝗵𝗀 neck plate. No serial number. Gasket doesn't. Okay. Gasket doesn't fit the plate, so no gasket. Protect the plating using a bit of tape just for the sake of. Right, things are coming along well with the star. We've got the neck on, bolted up great. Fantastic job with the neck pocket. It's perfect. What's left to do now is mount the pickup ring to the pickup. I'm going to put some strings on it, set the alignment of the pickup ring and bolt it down so we get the slugs over the strings. Won't affect the sound too much, just personal preference, makes it look neater. Some people think it does make a difference in the sound. And then put some slots in the bridge just to retain the strings. It's getting a little bit chaotic here.
Oh my God!
So, much better. Now, time to string it up. I like to use Artist 9 through 42 gauge strings. Feel good, they sound good, they're readily available, and they're very, very well priced. String it up. Do you have a noise?
Yeah, buddy!
We now slap some strings on the guitar for the first time. These buggers unfortunately won't be around long, as you'll soon see in the next step. Alright, so we're back to the start. What we need to do now is put some slots in the bridge. As you can see right now, the saddles are all smooth. That means when moving the strings and stuff around, they are free to slip and slide at the bridge. That'll throw your tuning out.
You're gonna have a bad time.
So what we need to do is put little notches in specific locations on the bridge to hold the strings in place. So in order to tackle this one, I've had a good mate of mine show me a fantastic piece of software. It's called 𝗵𝗺 2D. If you build guitars, it's bloody awesome. I'll link it below. It allows you to put in info about the scale length, the nut width, the bridge width, etc. of a guitar, and have it create a guide showing the locations of where all 6 strings or more are to sit, all the way from the nut to the bridge. I've used the measurements of the 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝘀 neck and the string spacing of my main guitar, the Ibanez RG550. This particular instrument is fit up with the Ibanez Edge tremolo system, which offers slightly wider string spacing than a standard tune-o-matic style bridge. This gives my reasonably sized mitts a little bit more room and gives this guitar a similar feeling to an instrument I'm already really fond of. So I have plugged some of those dimensions in and used that to generate my template for my string spacing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to lay out these pieces of paper along the length of the neck, make sure we get everything centralized. I'm going to locate the strings to where they need to go based on that template, and then, like a few things in this build, hit it with a hammer. So roughly marked out the spacing, mangled the strings, but that's okay. We will chuck a fresh set on when it's done. I wasn't able to get quite a good enough indent with just hammering the strings directly. So once again, turn to bolt or banjo bolt with tape on the head. It's been the unsung hero of this build. What we're going to do is now very carefully tidy up each of the slots just to ensure there's no buzzing. We're going to be using some 𝗏𝗏 nut slotting files designed to slot a nut at the top of the neck, but they should do fine for cleaning up these marks. Once that's done, bolt down the humbucker ring, get it set up and give it a bit of a bash. Alright, so we're now properly slotting the bridge with these 𝗏𝗏 fret files. They're built to the same thickness as the guitar strings themselves. They come in various widths. They allow you to precisely slot a nut, or in our case a bridge, to the correct width of the string that will be chilling in that particular slot. That's to make sure you get your action bang on, your tuning is stable, and you don't have to put up with any annoying buzzes or noises when you're playing. This set here is designed to specifically match the 9 gauge string sets that I normally use, so in theory she should work pretty well. So those first set of strings we used are basically rooted, so we're going to rip them out, clean up the bridge and shove some fresh strings in there. So with the slots now cut, I'm spending some time cleaning each string groove with some sandpaper. This gets rid of any marks left on the bridge from when whacking shit with a hammer. It also gets rid of any teeny tiny burrs left from cutting those slots with the file that could lead to premature string breakage. Alrighty, so we're stringing up this bad boy again. Set of fresh, non-mangled, hammer-stricken strings. So we can now then tune it up to pitch. Double check that the radius or the curvature of the strings, now that they're resting in those little slots, are correct. We can also set up a playable action. So all the major stuff is done. Just a matter of fine tuning it and hopefully turning it from an alright guitar into a really nice one. Fine. Didn't catch fire, that's a good start.
Great success.
So we now slap the other 5 strings on, make sure they all rest in their home in the bridge. After the initial slotting of the bridge, we suss out where the strings are sitting with a radius gauge. As we mentioned in the prior video of this build series, this 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝘀 neck has a compound radius. This means the fretboard has a cone-like shape to it, being a little rounder towards the headstock to make gripping chords a little easier, and flattening out towards the higher frets for fast lead playing and solos, allowing for big ass bends without notes choking out. Because of this, as the strings then continue over the body and towards the bridge, they continue flattening out. This is something I had to bear in mind while setting up the bridge, and actually requires it to be slotted slightly flatter in radius than the neck itself. This neck has a 12 to 16 inch radius, and I've cut the bridge to roughly 18 inches. After checking this is all gravy, we lower the bridge, dialing in a rough action or string height, and then suss out the neck relief. Right, lesson time. Have a guitar neck. So a guitar neck is a big long rod that runs underneath a fretboard. What this bugger does is it is threaded on one end. Sometimes it's at the base. This one and many others, it's at the top. What's the purpose of this rod? Well, guitar strings pull that way, pull the neck up. It's quite a bit of force, yeah. Basically stretching little pieces of steel really, really hard. So, stop the wood from shifting like that over time. You adjust this rod and it provides a counter force, keeping the neck or pulling the neck back that way and keeping it somewhere flattish. So the amount of curvature that you can adjust in by adjusting that nut is called your neck relief. You want to make sure you get that measurement right. That affects how low you can set your strings without them buzzing and choking and sounding like shit. So it's not necessarily a right or wrong way or a wrong amount of relief, I guess. Different strokes for different folks. A lot of people prefer to have like a nice flat relief, because that allows you to get your strings very nice and low without them buzzing out, which is good if you're trying to play quick leads and stuff like that. So once again, turning to Old Faithful, the 𝗧𝗵𝗀, similar to the string spacing of the bridge. I'm also using this to gauge my rough action or string height specs, as well as the neck relief, so the curvature of the neck. Quick transition. I didn't change my shirt, you change your shirt. Anyway, check your neck relief. You need two tools. First, unless you've got three hands, 𝗶𝗶𝗀. It's like a big finger, holds down the strings on a specific fret. It allows you to play your open string chords in different keys. I use it more as a setup tool than anything. Second, some sort of measuring implement. I use this little thing. A little string action ruler. It's got a heap of marks for different sizes in metric and freedom or imperial. Alright, so to check your neck relief, I follow Fender's guide. Nothing's caught fire on me yet, so I'm going to keep doing it until it doesn't work. First thing you do, your 𝗶𝗶𝗀, chuck it on the first fret. That takes the string height of the nut of the guitar out of the equation. It's also handy to have one of these little neck wraps. Then fret the string where the neck meets the body. On this and a lot of Fenders and stuff like that, it's about the 17th fret. And from there, using your ruling implement, you check the height between the top of the fret and the string. You usually do that around the 7th or the 8th fret of the neck. That's because that's where that bow is most pronounced. So as I said, I'm using this to gauge the rough specs to use for the 𝗧𝗵𝗶. So I'm going to try to replicate it on that guitar. So let's have a set. You can just see where that action's sitting at, just above that first little line on the ruler. So awesomely, the neck relief specs on this particular neck, after having a bit of string tension on it, pulled up to be almost exactly the same as the 𝗶𝗶𝗀, meaning I've had to do pretty well minimal faffing about to get this thing set up, playing really, really nicely, which I consider very, very cool, as this neck would be getting on nearly 40 years. There's bugger or fret wear on it, and it has come halfway across the world to Australia to get installed on a body made in 2024. Fantastic bit of kit, very keen to play it. We now spend some time fine-tuning the final setup of the guitar. We adjust and set the intonation, which is the length of each string, and the final overall string height. From there, we lock the bridge in place using the supplied brass screws. Alright, so she's strung up. Notes seem to ring out pretty true. I was able to get the neck relief and the action very close to my 𝗶𝗶𝗀, which is good. Just need to screw down this pickup cover. We need the cavity cover on, still a little bit nudie roody, and drill some strap buttons. Let's not forget that either. So the pickup ring gets mounted to the body using 4 screws. And for a finishing touch, slap one of those bad boys in there. And that's your luck. Nothing says heavy metal like Snoopy. Beautiful. Your cavity cover is on. Now hold up. This is not going to be your standard tone demo this time around. I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. So now, bit of backstory. I've been playing guitar on and off again since I was about 10. Often playing for sort of 12 months at a time and then giving up. with the bug finally biting me about 5 years ago. So in those few years, I've been lucky enough to engage with and get to know a few of the very talented guitarists in town. I thought the best way to do this guitar justice was put it in the hands of a few really talented players and just see what this thing can do. I thought that would produce a range of different sounds through a range of different gear, just to give people a really good listen to the tonal spectrum of this guitar. So first things first, kick this off by talking to 𝗵𝗶𝘀 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝘀, a local guitarist that plays in a range of bands. Just to see if he was willing to provide just a couple of recordings and tone demos at home. Thought that would be really cool. Like the legend he is, he was more than happy to help out. So what started as a quick tone demo, recorded at home, just through his rig, whatever his setup was, turned into the star getting out on stage for the first time in an upcoming gig he was planning to play. How little did I bloody know. A couple of days later, after dropping the guitar off and him telling me his plans, he asked for me to get up on stage for the first time to play a song with the band. What? So the gig was on Saturday and I was told on Thursday. So picked a song I sort of knew how to play, and yeah, it was a trial by fire. So you'll get to see how that went. So, with the day of the show upon us, being hosted at the Hotel Augusta, I shot down there in the Arvo for a sound check. So they gave me a go up on the stage, and I realised one thing very quickly. Playing with other musicians is very different to playing to a record. No shit. So the guitar itself sounded killer. It was running through a PV 5150 into a Marshall cab. Nice big fat classic rock sound. It didn't catch fire, split in two, or explode in Benny's hands. So all in all, things were going pretty well. Benny even seemed to be having some fun playing it too. Then the night came, so the star went to work. Now the place was freaking packed.
What I like about you hold me tight. Tell me I'm the only one wanna come over tonight. Yeah.
The star smashed out a couple of songs, no worries, and Benny even cranked out some awesome lead playing. It was awesome. People were dancing and having a bloody great time.
Mystify me. Rock me out, think I love you. Dude, I wanna know for sure. When you ask me what I'd like to do. When you ask me what I'd like to say. When you ask me what I'd like to play.
Then it was my turn.
He built that. Fuck yes, he did. Fuck yes, he did.
So with a shitload of eyes on me, I got up on stage and started tuning my guitar. In that very second, total tunnel vision. I could not see or hear shit around me. I didn't even hear Jason calling out to me 3 or 4 times on stage.
Nathan. Nathan. Hello.
Was I shitting myself? Bloody oath I was.
Well, he's concentrating.
But once it was tuned up, wave g'day to everyone and clicked onto that crunch channel, everything chilled out.
Hey, Nathan. Nathan. Hello, Nathan.
Grant counted the song in and we started playing, and this is how it went. Hey, let's go. that's how it went. After all these years, finally did it. It was all thanks to Benny and the rest of the Code Blue boys. So massive thanks to Benny, Jason, Grant and Tony. It was a freaking awesome show and I was very, very thankful to be a part of it. After that experience at the Augusta, I then left the star in the hands of Grant, the other guitarist for Code Blue, to give it a bit of a rip and see what sort of sounds he could get out of it. Super nice, quiet dude, but bloody hell can you make this thing raw. Check it out. Cheers for that, Grant. You're a bloody legend. Can definitely see the experience shine through. You played that all pretty bloody effortlessly. So next, I'm leaving this nugget with my mate Kazi, a very, very talented guitarist. Plays a lot of metal and plays a lot of acoustic stuff. So let's give him a sus. Some cool shit there, thanks Kazi. After that, I left it with Kelly, my girlfriend's mum. Absolute bloody metalhead through and through, Metallica fanatic. So she's gonna channel her inner James Hetfield and bust out some Metallica riffs. Don't sue me, please. Lars, please no.
You're just sitting here
being a complete dick.
You're really helping matters.
Well, shit, after all that, we're finally done building the star. All in all, what a freaking amazing experience it's been. One, I had a chance to create something that's been rattling around in my head for years, about 5 years or so. And to do that while adding some sentimental value to the guitar, painting it the same color as one of my dad's treasured vehicles. I'm choosing the, really nice parts and specs that I liked, and ultimately creating an instrument that exceeded my expectations. And then on top of that, having the chance to finally get up on stage for the first time, one, to show people something that I created, came out of my brain and into my hands, to show that off to them and to entertain them. So cheers again to everyone that was at the Augusta. You were all fantastic. The energy was top notch. It was great. And once again, thank you to the boys at KnE Blue, Benny, Grant, Jason and Tony. I don't think you understand how much that opportunity meant to me. It was also amazing to get out there among some of the local musicians to, once again, share something I made and to give them a bit of a play, a bit of a try. It's ultimately a tool to make music, and it's, had the chance to do that, which is really cool. And so far, all of the feedback I've gotten from people that have played it has been pretty good. So I think we're onto a winner with that one. So yeah, if you've got an idea that's rattling around your brain, no matter what it is, musically or artistically or otherwise, spend some time, putting it out there. Show the world what you can do. You might surprise yourself. And the chance to film and document the process, all the little hiccups and flaws and ways we've worked around it was really, really cool. And I'm really, really thankful to be able to share that with everyone. So if you enjoy what I do and you think it was good enough, leave a comment or a like or a subscribe. Love to have a yarn about it. Pretty sick. I like talking about guitars. I hope the people that come here like talking about guitars too. And so on that note, hopefully see you back here for the next exciting build. So take care.